The Sony interactive projector is very easy to use. Basically all we utilize is an HDMI cable. We have a USB cable, and both these cables are connected to the projector. It's an ultra short projector, so basically we are able to put it very close to the screen, and when we've got a whiteboard we can pretty much put the screen onto the whiteboard and we can interact as if it's our operating or desktop. Very easy to set up. Once we've done that, we click then on interactive presentation utility, and on the bottom right hand side you can see there it's busy connecting. If it's not going to connect, we'll have a no entry sign, and if it's connected it will pretty much just show you a red border around. So there it's showing you you've got connection, and on the right hand side we've got some features that we can actually use. We've got some settings over here. We have a little mouse, we have the whiteboard, we have up and down with certain other little functions where we can have a pen, we can then draw circles, we can draw squares, we can have the keyboard, and we'll demonstrate that now. So first thing we'll do is we'll go to the drawing board, and very simple, we can utilize this as a normal blackboard. Although it's a white screen, we can utilize it as an interactive blackboard, and at the end of this presentation we'll be able to save it and then give it out to the students should you be a lecturer. Now, at the same time, if we want to, we can choose to go any color that we want, and we can choose the actual size. So if we decide to have it at that thickness, we can have that option, and at the same time we've got this tiny little click function which we can have like a paintbrush, and as you can see, as we can squiggle, it's pretty much like an artist's paintbrush. With this we can also have the circle, and we can start at one point and we can highlight what we've done, or we can have a square if we want to outline a whole particular area. Right. Other functions we can have, we can choose, right, we finished with this particular page, we can go into the next page, and then you can see we've got page 2 of 2. Again, if you want to, we can then go and we can then call Sony. Now a nice little function that we've got with this is that should the lecturer decide to go off, alright, the students will get up and then they'll draw something nice and funny. So there is the teacher, and we'll put there teacher, and they're going to draw something nice and funny. And there he is with big glasses, and here's the shisha. And it's coming out here at the bottom, and the lecturer is smoking, with smoke all over the place. Somebody says, oh, the lecturer is coming, quickly, we're going to erase the whole lot before the lecturer comes. Drew too much. Almost, teacher's just around the corner, just in time. The lecturer comes back and says, alright, let's carry on, and let's see where we are. How far are we? And he says, oh, okay, there we go, we've done all of this. Excuse me? Oh, what's this part? Oh, funny. But what this does is that at the end of the lecture, you can literally revise everything that you have done. Alright, that's the one feature. Even the erasing. Alright. So, if we don't want that page, we can get rid of it. Do you want to? Yes, we'll clear it. At the same time, we can have different templates, and we can choose to have different type of templates that we want. There's a couple of default, and the very first one that we come up to is your desktop. So you can utilize that. Instead of having a whiteboard, you can have your different options. And as we click through, you can see we have different colors as we are going through. If you also need to, you want to write something on the board, as it is in the old days when you used to write, or always used to land up writing down at an angle, this will just basically help you to keep it going straight. And if you're an artist and you're a music lover, you can then write your music on here. So there's a lot of options that you can actually utilize with this. Our desktop, alright, and we can utilize the operating system that is on the actual PC and literally have it up over here. So it's very unlimited. You have to click it a few times. And we can now utilize this pen as a mouse. So whatever I do, I can now carry on as if I'm working on a desktop. And just by touching, we can then go through the PowerPoints. Now, despite this being a PowerPoint, we can still utilize some of the functions that is on here. At the moment, on this top left-hand side, you can see we have a mouse, so we're in the mouse function. By clicking it, we will get to the pen. So if I'm on the pen and I want to highlight something, I can say, there we go. There is Sony's option. You can highlight it, you can utilize a circle. If at the same time you want to highlight a certain point, we can bring in this function, drag it over, or we want it to come over, and we can highlight a certain function from whatever the other competitors would be. In this case, other competitors. We can clear that page by clicking, go back to the mouse, and we can still carry on scrolling through. If we want to, say, release something, we can bring up this function, and we can hide certain functions. So, for example, we start the presentation, and we can say we have a whole bunch, but first of all, we only want to show you a certain section. And as we go along, you can drag it back by hiding a certain section as well. So it just gives you that function. When we have and we want to highlight something and we draw around, whatever we show up on the screen over here will come up on to your actual desktop. We can even, if we want to, actually play a game. And it's very easy. Boom.